All right, so I wanted to go back to my series called "The Word You Heard." Back when I was in the jail down the street, I was actually that's where I got this Bible. That's where I actually found out about the fact that even if you get locked up, life doesn't really stop. You still have talents, you still have abilities, you can continue doing and growing. So there, I became a teacher, sort of. I became kind of a preacher, and I was doing Bible reads every day through the Went system, which was kind of like a walkie-talkie. So to the Went, we would talk and communicate. Not everybody, but some of us who were near each other and had a Went next to somebody. So I was doing like a couple chapters every time, 2, 3 times a day. So today I want to do Mark. Well, actually, I want to do page 1113. That's 3111. Because it was just 911. So let's do 3111. Actually, yesterday was 991. So that's like 3 times 2 and 1. Anyway, now I'm going to try to do like a docu-scan of this page. And then hopefully you can follow along, even though I put it down. Alright. Isa questioned about fasting. Now, John's disciples Now John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting. Some people came and asked Isa, "How is it that John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees are fasting, but yours are not?" Isa answered, "How can the guests of the bridegroom fast while he is with them? They cannot, so long as they have him with them. But the time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, and on that day they will fast." So that reminds me of something. When I got out of prison, I was in a different state of mind, and well, when I was in prison, I was in a different state of mind, and now I'm in a completely different state of mind. So in prison, praying came very easily to me, but now it's like I really have to push myself to pray every day, which is what I learned I wasn't doing in the past, which is why I got fucked up. But the Quran opened my eyes, and now I try to pray every day, even though people try to fight me for it. But anyway, what he was saying then is that, when the times are good, it's easy to rejoice, and you don't need to fast. When the times are bad, you need to fast so you can get spiritually stronger. Because when times are good, you have Jesus with you, so you have the Holy Spirit, so life is kind of on easy mode. But when the trials and tribulations come, then you see God's children doing things like fasting, and people try to give them a hard time because of it, just like the John's disciples and the Pharisees who were asking him the question, "How is it that John's disciples and the disciples of the Pharisees are fasting, but yours are not?" You know, questions after questions. It's kind of irritating to be asked so many questions. But he gave a good answer, logical and spiritually relevant. Then he continues. Well, let me say his answer again. "How can the guests of the bridegroom fast while he is with them? They cannot, so long as they have him with them. But the time will come when the bridegroom will be taken from them, and on that day they will fast. Now Matthew 2:21. No one sews a pea or a patch. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. Otherwise, the new piece will pull away from the old, making the tear worse. So, this reminds me of what is the new movement, United Nations sponsored mission agenda, is to legalize, or is to drop the age of consent, which means to legalize intergenerational sex. Like in one of my recent videos, not the recent video, but one of my last videos that I made before I got locked up, I talked about this old pervert trying to snatch this girl who was into me away from me. Or, actually, it was just her playing her games, but I thought that this verse talks about that because what they're trying to do is, basically, it's like a anything goes society, but people are getting so corrupt, they're not happy just having sex with people their own age, or even 10 years younger or 20 years younger. Now they want to have access to the fresh virgins, or even like the woman whose vaginas haven't been used and abused, I guess. So that's what it's really about. Because in my country, in Pakistan, in India, it's legal to marry somebody at the age of 15 or 16, depending on if it's Pakistan or India. But you have to marry them to have sex with them. You cannot have sex with somebody without marrying them. That's a taboo, or it used to be. Not anymore, but not so much anymore. But so yeah, even in some states in the United States, you can marry somebody when they're 14, but you have to marry them with the parents' permission and all that. It has to be real marriage, not just fooling her and showing her a wild ride and then dropping her off. And now nobody wants her. So let's go again. No one sews a patch of unshrunk cloth on an old garment. So you don't put a fresh vagina on an old dick, I guess is what they're trying to say. Or no. You don't. You don't use a. Maybe it's the opposite. Maybe it's like garment means vagina and cloth means dick. So you don't sew a patch. You don't put a virgin with a whore. Like an old whore and a young virgin. Otherwise, the new piece, which means a young virgin, will pull away from the old. The virgin will pull away from the old witch, making the tear worse. So the witch will be in an even worse situation because of fucking that virgin. So I guess that's why women like men with experience and not virgins. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. Huh. Now, I don't know what that means. I guess that's semen. Oh, man. Yeah, you're not supposed to put semen into old wineskins. Oh, man. No. Maybe it means, the wop. You don't put the wop into old dicks. Or you don't put the old dicks into wops. Or on wops, right. You don't put old dicks on wops. And no one pours new wine into old wineskins. Oh, man. Because wineskin is like an old garment, right? And new wine is like an unshrunk cloth. Or is new wine like is new wine like an old garment? And Old wineskin is like an unshrunk cloth. Yeah, I think they're saying no one puts new virgins with old men, like in Islamic countries is a norm. Otherwise, the wine will burst the skins. They'll destroy their dicks, I guess. And both the wines and the wineskins will be ruined. And both the wine and the wineskins will be ruined. No, they pour new wine into new wineskins. So I remember 100 years ago or so, when America was more healthy, um, maybe, and the whole world was more healthy, maybe, I don't know. But I know that 50 years ago or so in India, and about 100, 150, maybe 250 years ago in America, young guys, 14-year-olds, used to get married with young girls, like 12-year-olds, and they were paired for life, basically. But it wasn't that they were paired for life. They would still try to sleep around, but if they got caught, they had consequences. So that's my Mark 2:18 to Mark 2:22. And then the next one is another one, but I'll say that for next time because the video is too long already.